Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you all here na? Good number, 24 out of 49. Yes, good morning. Wow. So, last week, no, we talked about examples of marriage or family dynamics of marriage. Today, there's a question before I do the topic. Sino dito yung in relationship? Sino dito ang in relationship? Marami bang in relationship dito? Ayaw umamin. Naisip ko lang, have you ever noticed that even though we speak the same language, especially so men and women, sometimes feels like they're from other planet or different planet? Di ba? Kahit magkaiba kayong language. Today, no, we are going to explore how God intricately designed our minds differently. Not just to cause conflict, but to complement one another. So today, I will be playing a video. Please jot down your notes and listen as you watch. Kasi I will be asking questions about the video.
Well, you fill in the blanks. Okay, so now we're going to start discussing men's brain.
Does it have audio? May audio ba? Yes, thank you. So I'll be playing na.
Women's brains and how they're very different from. Well, you fill in the blanks. Okay, so now we're going to start discussing men's brains, women's brains, and how they're very different from each other. Now, I want to start with men's brains. All right, now men's brains are very unique. Men's brains are made up of little boxes. And we have a box for everything. We've got a box for the car. We got a box for the money. We got a box for the job. We got a box for you. We got a box for the kids. We got a box for your mother somewhere in the basement. We got boxes everywhere. And the rule is the boxes don't touch. When a man discusses a particular subject, we go to that particular box, we pull that box out, we open the box, we discuss only what is in that box. All right? And then we close the box and put it away, being very, very careful not to touch any other boxes. Sorry, my Catholic upbringing got in there for a minute, but I'm not a Catholic, but I went to Catholic school when I was little. I had a nun who taught on hell like she was born and raised there. I mean, I'll never forget it. pretty good, actually. It was a good thing. Now, women's brains are very, very different from men's brains. Women's brains are made up of a big ball of wire. And everything is connected to everything. The money's connected to the car is connected to your job, and your kids are connected to your mother, and everything's connected to everything. It's like... It's like the internet superhighway, okay? And it's all driven by energy that we call emotion. It's just... It's one of the reasons why women tend to remember everything. Because if you take an event and you connect it to an emotion, it burns in your memory and you can remember it forever. The same thing happens for men. It just doesn't happen very often because, quite frankly, we don't care. Women tend to care about everything. And she just loves it. Okay? Now, men, we have a box in our brain that most women are not aware of. This particular box has nothing in it. It's true. It's true. In fact, we call it the nothing box. And of all the boxes a man has in his brain, the nothing box is our favorite box. If a man has a chance, he'll go to his nothing box every time. That's why a man can do something seemingly completely brain dead for hours on end. You know, like fishing. And we love it. That's why a guy can sit in front of a TV and go. It glows. Of course, this drives our wives nuts because they'll come up and say, "Stop that! You can't possibly be watching anything!" I'm not. Go away. Now, they've actually measured this. The University of Pennsylvania a couple of years ago did a study and discovered that men have the ability to think about absolutely nothing and still breathe. You know, they connected all the wires and stuff like that and watched the brain activity, then all of a sudden, I think he's dead. Huh? You know, women can't do it. They can't do it. Their minds never stop. And they don't understand the nothing box. And it drives them crazy. Because nothing drives a woman more crazy or makes her feel more irritated than to witness a man doing nothing. Now, one of the biggest revelations I get out of women is this whole nothing box issue. They just, everything's starting to make sense. And I've had women say, oh, it's nothing. Well, can I go and it's nothing? Now, one of the biggest revelations I get out of women is this whole nothing box issue. They just, everything's starting to make sense. And I've had women say, oh, it's nothing. Well, can I go in his nothing box with him? No! Why not? Because then it's something. Besides, you'll walk in there and go, you know, this place could really use some pictures. Nice little table over here, some flowers. Is it? No! Nothing! Get out! We don't want nothing. Now this handles the way men and women handle stress. Okay? When a man is stressed out, all he wants to do is run to his nothing box. This is how we unwind. The last thing we want to do when we're stressed out is talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. We just want to. Of course, it just drives her nuts, you know. A woman will see a man in that vegetative state and she'll come up and go, "What you thinking about?" Nothing. We gotta be thinking about something. No, I was thinking about nothing. In fact, I was on a roll till you showed up. Go away. All right? Because that's how he handles stress. He just. Now, when a woman is stressed out, she has to talk about it. If she doesn't talk about it, her brain will literally explode. So she'll start just, I don't know, might have something to do with this. Not gonna have to do that. You know, I never thought about this. My brother over here said to me, and I know men who run from their wives when they do this. They do. I say, well, why do you run from her? He says, because I don't know what to tell her. I said, dear God, man, who told you to tell her anything? She wants you to tell her anything. See, a lot of guys, they feel obligated when you start explaining all your stress, they feel obligated to fix you. Right? Because that's what a man does. A man only tells his troubles to another man in hopes that that man will help fix it. Okay? But she's not a man. And you try and fix her, she's gonna kill you. Alright? She doesn't want your advice. She doesn't want your help. She wants you to shut up and listen. And a couple of ladies, that's right, you tell him. Tell him to shut up. They like that. Now, I had one guy tell me, he said, man, if she just tell me how she feels. I said, she doesn't know yet. This is what he means. That's how she figures out how she feels, by connecting this wire to that wire, this wire, and so. Now, because they love each other, they offer to each other their answer, their solution. A man senses his wife is stressed out. He loves the girl. He offers to the girl his best and finest solution. Or just quit talking about it. Just quit thinking about it. Yeah. And that's when she starts reaching for the knives and stuff. But she's gonna stab you if you keep it up, okay? Now, a woman, she senses her husband's all stressed out. She loves him. Therefore, she offers to him her best and finest solution. Talk to me. Why won't you talk to me? Go away. He doesn't want to talk to you. Leave him alone. He will not die. He's not a woman. All right? I know you've got to talk it through or you're going to be twisted inside. He's not like that. Leave the boy alone. You tell he's stressed out, just let him go to his nothing box. Just stay away.
Yan. So do you agree with the video? Or what are your learnings from the video? Ayan, go Viray. Okay, go Viray.
Good morning po. Audible po.
Apa.
Ayan. So what I've learned from the video po, or insights lang po, is how men and women are men and women often have misunderstandings due to their differences in processing and understanding thoughts po.
Yes, totoo, no? Magkaiba talaga isang wired and isang box. Ito, si Aliyah. Diego. Miss Diego.
Hi, Sir. Audible po ba?
Yep.
Ayan. Point out ko lang din po yung about dun sa paglabas ng emotion between dun sa girl and dun sa boy. Kasi nga po, sabi dun, tayong mga girls, para tayong wired. So, meaning, marami tayong iniintindi, marami tayong iniisip. So, kapag stress tayo, parang connected siya and feel natin, nasasabog tayo pag hindi natin nalabas. Gusto lang naman natin na ma-release yung build up emotions natin and meron kasi parang yung mga girls po kasi merong thought na gusto niya lang malabas pero ayaw niyang mapakialaman. Then yung boy naman po, since solution based sila, kapag yung girlfriend nila nag-open sa kanila ng parang mga problems, they tend to solve it po agad. Parang yung girl naman po, ayaw naman po ng gano'n kasi gusto niya lang ng may makikinig sa kanya. Then yung parang pag-iisip po kasi ng boy na nabanggit do'n sa video is para siyang box. So parang enclosed space lang yung brain nila na parang may certain lang sila na iniisip. Parang gano'n po siya.
Yes. Thank you, Diego, no, Aliyah. Totoo yun, no? Na girls just wanted to be heard, to be listened. And yun yung way of de-stressing nila na makinig sa kanila. Lastly, before I go to my PowerPoint, hi Leona, Tamor,
Rinig po ako.
Apo.
Ano po, parang para po sa'kin yung insight ko po dun sa, pinanood is parang yung box po is yung focus mode and then yung sa girl naman po is yung diffuse mode. Sa ano po, sa focus mode po, mas, tight and bright beam po siya na nagko-concentrates sa one specific detail lang po like kung may need ayusin, ayun lang po yung gagawin niya, hindi niya na po papakialaman, parang focus na po siya dun. And then naman po dun sa isa, wide po siya and then soft light that looks at a big picture po kung saan makikita niya po lahat ng concept, kung saan lahat po magko-connect-connect yung mga naiisip niya kahit hindi naman po dapat nasa iisang focus lang po siya, gano'n po.
Yes, thank you. Totoo yun, no? Kaya, for example, di ba, pag nakita mo yung mga lalaki, pag pumunta ng mall ang lalaki, alam na niya anong bibili niya sa mall. Diba? Kung kailangan lang bumili ng shampoo, shampoo lang talaga bibili niyan. Unlike yung girls, pag nag-mall, paikot-ikot yun, ikot-ikot, hanggang makita yung, hanggang kahit nakita na niya yung gusto niya makita at bibilin, mag-ikot pa rin siya. Kasi yung lalaki, focus lang. Hindi kami nag-iisip masyado. Yun ang problema, hindi kami nag-iisip masyado. So, what can we learn from this? No? Sa mga nakita ko din na it's very important. Kasi nga, in marriage, you are creating beautiful moments that last a lifetime. The, the, the dilemma is that they are both imperfect. And they are both biologically magkaiba. And magkaiba rin yung pag-iisip nila. So in marriage, the goal is not to change your partner's brain to match yours. It's to practice sacrificial love. It is to practice sacrificial love. Ito yung kailangan. Kasi we are called to be helpers. Magtulungan to one another. Ibig sabihin, tayo mismo yung mag-fill ng gaps to the other that cannot feel alone. Hindi tayo pwede maghanap. For example, when you're choosing your girlfriend, your boyfriend, is dahil kulang siya nito, kulang siya sa hinahanap mo. For example, yung hinahanap mo is um, maganda, matalino, matangkad. So ito si boy, dahil hindi niya totoo matangkad, ang gagawin ba niya? Hahanap siya ng matangkad to feel that. Diba hindi? Kundi, yun na yun. Kung ikaw na yun, ikaw na yun. Dapat hindi na siya maghanap ng iba pa. So for husbands, ano ba magiging challenges natin dito? For husbands, your presence is very important. Boys, your presence are very important. You must have the gift of listening. Kasi when your future wife is connecting the wires, hindi siya naghahanap ng someone who can fix the bridge. Di ba? Kailangan mo lang is listening. Active listening. Not just listening, but active listening. Kasi boys, we are so tend to be passive listeners. May mga boys ba dito? Nandito ngayon? Di ba? Passive listeners kasi usually ang boys. Pero you should be active listener. Kasi when your wife is connecting the wires, she's not looking for an architect to fix the bridge. She's looking for a companion to walk it with her. So you should not be in a fixed mode. You must have the Christ patience. That's why if they are nagging, just listen. If they're explaining, just listen. Parang walang away. Next is, sabi nga ito, be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to become angry. So the challenge is, your nothing box is a place to rest. Yes. Kaya kayo malalaki, we don't grow old playing. Hindi kami grow old hindi namin na-outgrow yung playing, 'di ba? We always play a lot. Wherein kahit yung Yun nga lang, pagkaiba ng laruan ng bata at laruan ng matanda is mas mahal lang. Pero they are both toys. For example, ako, my toy is my computer. I have different computer for my business and for different computer for my playing for games. And that's more expensive, way more expensive than my business. Kasi dito ako nakapag-isip, ito yung nothing box ko. That's why yung ano, di ba? Yung ibang boys, their games or their toys are so expensive. Kasi this is our nothing box. Pero, your nothing box is a place of rest, but don't let it become a place of hiding. Use this strength to focus, of your focus to focus entirely on her. Entirely on her. When she needs to be heard. Kailangan yung gamitin mo yung focus na ito para makinig sa kanya. Gamitin mo yung focus na ito para mas lalong mahalin siya. Kasi when she needs to be heard. And of course, future wives, you need to have the ministry of respect. Girls, when you get married, you need the ministry of respect. The gift of stillness. Kasi when your husband in his nothing box, pag ang husband is in nothing box, he is not being lazy or ignoring you. He is recharging. Kaya nga yung iba, di ba yung mga boys, yung mga matatanda, mga tito, tita, what is their nothing box? Sometimes they will just go out of the blue, driving their motorcycle or driving their car out of the blue because that is their nothing box. Some they are just playing around, even they grow old, because that is their nothing box. That is our nothing box. And forcing him to connect wires during that time is like unplugging a phone when it's trying to charge. Kailangan, let's give them time to recharge themselves. Kasi pag hindi natin recharge, baka ma-burn out yung lalaki. Imagine yung lalaki, hindi ba pagsalita? We are not a talker. Hindi kami nagsasalita masyado. We have only one focus to recharge. Kaya nga when men umuwi ng bahay and they are tired of their work, sobrang laking bagay na nung kasalubungin kami ng tahimik. Sobrang laking bagay na pagdating namin is they will be appreciating each other. So, kaya minsan pagdating ko sa bahay, pagdating sa bahay, 30 minutes bago ako lumabas ng kwarto. Papahinga lang ako, rest. Talagang rest lang talaga. Para mapag-recharge kahit paano. So, wag natin i-unplug yung time na ito. Kaya make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. Respecting his silence is a form of submitting to one another. Diba, laking bagay na sa amin. Out of reverence for Christ. Silence is very important sa amin. Kahit konti lang, give us time to recharge. Kasi the challenge is the trust that God designed His nothing box as a legitimate way to handle stress. Kung girls is ang distressing nyo is kumain sa labas, ang distress nyo is to window shopping, naraki hindi. They are designed differently. Nothing box lang. Your peace can be the environment that allows him to eventually step out of the box and reconnect. Diba? Ganun ka different yung utak ng lalaki sa babae. Kasi pag di natin naintindihan ito, pag di natin naintindihan, pag nag-asawa na tayo, baka maghiwalay lang din tayo agad. So understanding with each other is very important. Lastly, sabi nga, God created mankind in His own image. Male and female, He created. If God is reflected on both focused box and the interconnected wire, then we need both to see the full picture of God's character. Dapat makita natin kung sino si God sa atin. Yung character ni God sa atin. Kasi His focus is our protection, and her connection is our community. That's a tale of our brains. Questions? I believe that's none. So your quiz 1 is now posted exactly 10 o'clock mag-open siya. Hi, Luke. Do you have a question? So 10 o'clock mag-open yung quiz nyo for your quiz 1. And of course, it will be due next week, May 7. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. You're all dismissed. See you next week.